the mayor says that there is a huge, the prices of the private houses are much higher than the government houses. And he says that there's a need to regularize the house rent of the private sector so the common people can rent out the private property. Do you think this is a good step forward to resolve the, as mayor says that we are going to resolve the housing issue in London?
There is a campaign that has been going on against private landlords for the last 5 years now.
There were over 85,000 complaints last year about landlords.
Right. Previously, you were allowed to, as a landlord, you were allowed to deduct the interest you paid on your mortgage against the revenue, and you paid tax on the remainder. So, for example, if you got £1,000 rent from a property and the interest for that mortgage was £500, you would only pay tax on the £500 profit. Now, what they've done for private landlords is they've changed that around, and slowly they're reducing it, whereas in the next few years, that full £500 will no longer be deductible. You're going to pay tax on the £1,000 income, but at the same time, you're only actually making £500 because the rest has gone in interest payments, which is a direct deductible cost. Now, all of these measures, and even what the mayor's saying now about further restricting private landlords, like reducing the rents and putting a standardised rent in the market, what this does is, it is completely counterproductive to what the mayor is trying to achieve in London. Sadiq Khan is trying to get more houses built. That's what the issue is. The issue over here is not that rents are too high. The issue is a supply and demand issue.
I don't have a pen.
Exactly. Supply and demand, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
There's not enough supply, there's more demand, thus rents are going up, right? Now, where will more houses come from? More houses will come from more people investing in property, more people owning properties. But if you're discouraging private landlords from owning houses, then where are you going to get the houses you need from? You know, there's a housing crisis in the UK. We need about 1 million homes right now, and you need to encourage private landlords. Private businesses, private investors need to be encouraged. They should be given better terms. Now, for example, you're saying somebody's buying an apartment in London for £1 million and you're going to restrict his rent, for argument's sake, to £2,000 a month. He's making £24,000 in a year in rental. Why is he going to buy that property? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The government needs to give the investors, property investors, they need to give them more opportunity. So they invest further into the property sector and more houses are built. And that is the way to control prices in the medium term. In the short term, putting this cap on it, it will just halt the property market. It will stop investment going into the property sector altogether. In the long term, that's going to create a massive shortfall. That 1 million house shortfall we already have is going to grow and grow and grow. It's just non-sustainable. You need to promote private investment into the property sector, get more houses built, get people investing into property, and that will automatically, over the course of time, reduce the prices, both in terms of rents and in terms of property prices overall.
Okay. The second question is that in different parts of the city London, how the house rent varies in different part of the, like if we talk about this East London, West London, Central London, and what's the causes of the too much variations?
So obviously you've got different pockets and different areas within London. London is no longer just a city of the UK. London is the financial capital of the world. And there is many benefits associated to London being the financial capital of the world. It's not only the financial capital, but also the cultural capital of the world. People from all over the world, the world's wealthiest people, whether that be from the Middle East, whether they be from Asia, whether they're from Russia, across Europe, all of the world's wealthiest people, they want to have a piece of London. They want to own a home over here, they want to educate their children over here, and they want to enjoy the London lifestyle. Now, for that reason, you're going to get different areas and different pricing, right? But the benefits that we have of all these people coming in, the amount of revenue we get in stamp duty, for argument's sake, the amount of revenue we get in tourism, it's huge. Now, if you're trying to say you want to control London prices, that means you're going to curtail, you're going to stop all those investors and all that interest from all over the world that's coming into London. You want to stop that. Where does that leave London? Where does that leave the UK overall? I think that the conversation needs to be a different conversation. Right now, stamp duty for properties in London goes up to 12%. right? Somebody buying a £10 million house, yeah, is going to be paying over £1 million in stamp duty. Now, that stamp duty revenue that London collects, I don't know the exact figures, but London collects something around about over 60% of the UK stamp duty, right? But that money is circulated throughout the whole country. Now, when London collects 60% of the stamp duty, which is basically a tax, and that is purely generated from London, London should be keeping that revenue. That revenue that is coming in, that should be used for further investment into the property sector, social housing, and everything along those lines. London needs a bigger share of the revenue London generates. London is the biggest contributor to the UK in terms of taxes, but at the same time, it's around about 10% of the total of the country's revenue which actually comes back to London. London needs a bigger share of the revenue it generates coming back into London, investing into London, investing in the social infrastructure sector, investing in the infrastructure sector. Look at the roads in London. Look at the roads across the UK. Go to Manchester, go to Birmingham. These places have got wonderful, amazing roads. Look at the infrastructure inside London. We need more of London's money staying in London. What did you think of that, Warren?
Perfect, amazing.
Yeah?
It's very valuable.
Very valuable, isn't it? It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, London generates from like 70% of the UK's revenue. It only gets 10% of it. Yeah. You know, stamp duty, people are paying millions of pounds in stamp duty. That money doesn't stay in London. That goes all over the country. Now, what the hell does, some small town in the north of England have to do with some rich person buying £1 million house in London? You never buy that over there.
But that's because those cities can't generate the same money, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
But it's got to be self-sustainable. The way the world's moving right now is more and more becoming about city-states. Where cities are becoming more powerful.
Yeah.
So they need to retain that in London. The Sadiq Khan put out a statement today saying he wants to create a cap on rents. Now, in theory, that sounds very nice. You'd love it, I'd love it. No, but then, okay, you put a cap on rents, people are going to stop investing in the property sector. Okay? So what happens when people stop investing in the property sector? What happens next after that is that now all of a sudden, you're not getting... Okay, first of all, why is house prices going up and why are rents going up? Because there's not enough property and there's more people wanting property.
Yeah.
Especially in London. People are moving to London, but at the same time they don't have enough properties available over here. Now if you then say, right, we're going to cap rents, then why is anybody going to even invest in London? Okay, so when nobody's investing in London and buying properties, where's the real estate going to come from? In the long term, you're putting yourself in a very bad situation.